again by chanting Om 3 times, deep breaths. So in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan Shri Krishna is explaining to Arjuna the many offerings, many sacrifices that people make, fruits and all of this. But he also says that some people offer the breaths to Bhagwan. Aprane juhavati pranam prane pranam tatapare pranayam pati gatirudva pranayam parayana. So these breaths, it is written in scriptures that we live by a prescribed amount of breaths. When you've taken that amount, we no longer exist. So imagine this very life force we offer to Bhagwan. We're saying, what can I offer you? Baba said time, but these breaths also is so important. Everyone, we use it for running, for partying, for use it for him. Offer this breath to him 3 times. Inhale deeply, exhale, chanting Om and offering that to him. Very pran vayu, life force. Bhagavati. Om Sajam Chavarti Samyuktam Vahina Yojitam Maya Deepam Grihana Divishate Lokyati Mirapaham. Om Jai Janani Jai Bhagwatam. Jai Janani Jai Bhagwatam. Jai Janani Jai Bhagwatam.
जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती। पापियों को पाप से तारती। जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती। पापियों को पाप से तारती।
ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मुक्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला। ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मुक्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला। हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही जग के मंगल की आरती। पापियों को पाप से तारती। जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती। पापियों को पाप से तारती। ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला। हरि दर्शन दिखाने वाला। ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला। हरि दर्शन दिखाने वाला। है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी। है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी। ये मधुसूदन की आरती। पापियों को पाप से तारती। जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती। पापियों को
पाप से है तार जी।
ये मधुर बोल जग पंच खोल सन्मार्ग दिखाने वाला, बिगड़े को बनाने वाला। ये मधुर बोल जग पंच खोल संग मार्ग दिखाने वाला, बिगड़े को बनाने वाला। श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही, श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही, प्रभु की महिमा की आरती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती। जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
ओम गजाननम भूत। Everybody, let's pray together. कपित जम्बो पलचार भक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारकं नमामि विघ्नेश्वर
पारपङ्कजं।
सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये
शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके,
शरण्ये
त्र्यंबके गौरी
नारायणी
नमोस्तुते।
गुरुर्ब्रह्मा
गुरुर्विष्णु
गुरुर्देवो
महेश्वरा,
गुरुर्साक्षात्
परं ब्रह्मा,
तस्मै श्री
गुरवे नमः।
ॐ नमो
भगवते
वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो
भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki
जय।
jai. Everybody have your seat, make yourself comfortable. This morning we begin our 13th session of Bhagavad Discourse. Just to recap, last night we did the katha where Uddhav is sent. Uddhav is this close companion / devotee of Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna tells Uddhav, please go and look for Nanda and Yashoda. It has been some time since Kans was killed, and Nanda and Yashoda, they are home, but I am away from them. No children home by them. Parents probably grieving. Oh friend, I trust you. Go and look for them and give them, send little gifts. Let them know we miss them, we love them, and just check in on them generally. But when he went, it was as if Lord Krishna sends him on a mission. Whilst he is using, in the practical sense, as a messenger, go and deliver this for me, Uddhav left the city of Mathura thinking he's doing a job, he's helping other people. Nanda Baba is the victim of being left alone. But when he went there, he realized he went a course. He went a training course to how to be a devotee himself. Because now he was exposed to true devotees. And we heard how the Gopi says, you think, he lectured the girl at one point. And he says the person gains Krishna's devotion by doing seva, charity, chanting, doing yagya, sacrifice. She says, what are you talking about? You think yagya and puja and sacrifice is when you make time. I see him when he's the little bee, and the bee is his messenger, and she's quarreling with this bumblebee, telling him, "You came here, you are like Krishna." Krishna came and he touched everybody, and then one he left. Just so you are acting like your boss, Krishna. You are going from one flower, you'll take pollen, you'll go to the next flower, and you become this this thief, just like your Lord. In it, she says, when I'm talking to the cow, when I'm doing my work, I am quarreling with him. Why are you not here? When I would take out food, I adopted his parents, like the girl. In today's world, as a side point, when a young lady is married into a family, we hear in Brampton that one of the sins she does, she could make, is where she abuses her in-laws, where she takes the boy, takes the name, and gets all the accolade of becoming this daughter-in-law, but then hurts them. And in our Dharma, the girl is supposed to be able to treat those people as if more than her father and mother. In fact, it says when the daughter-in-law, Gerd Pran again, when the daughter-in-law ill speaks, harms, hits, hurts the mother-in-law and the father-in-law, this is when in next life God takes the soul from the human body and he says, okay, you want to live like that? Be born as a leech. The leech is the thing that attaches to the host body, bursts the skin and sucks the blood of the host. So it will live off the blood of another entity. This mother and this father, nobody is perfect, don't get me wrong. But I'm talking on the perspective of the daughter-in-law. This person, you've been allowed to join our family. You did not born into this family, and you come and you're supposed to have respect and regard and reward these people for the quality of this marriage you've got. When the person is living that life of dharma and that good karma, the person gets blessing. This is why if you go to Anteshti Sanskar, when they're doing the funeral, the girl offers that water in front of the hearse or when they're going to move the body. What she is saying, daughter-in-law. For somebody who is confused, this is not for daughter. The daughter-in-law is the one who says, when I came, when you received me, O mother-in-law, and you gave me that first drink of water or whatever reception, this is me repaying you. Before you leave, I don't want to owe you. Please go easy, have a safe travel, safe journey, etc. But this girl, when she does not do her duty, there are some people blessed that in their life, no matter, some people really have it hard with mother-in-law and father-in-law. That's the truth. But inside of the hardship, when the people get old, have you ever met a girl who says, no matter how they treat my Baba, I still cook food for them. I still change their diaper. I still look in on them. I still do my job. That person, that sevak, is doing it because of the higher value of doing their duty. And this is what the girl said last night. She says, he left his mother and father, and I adopted them. And every day I go and I take out food for Yashoda, I take out food for Nand. I tend to their cow, I go in the field, and all the while I'm talking to him. But you, Uddhav, only talk to him when you see him. When you see the Murti or the Pitya, or in his case his friend, you have that conversation or that time with him. But in my life is so encapsulated with Krishna. When I'm bathing, when I'm eating, when I'm praying, when I'm working, whatever I am doing, I do it with Krishna. In the ending of last night's discourse, he praises the gopis that your worship, your caliber of worship will be immortalized, that people will always remember the degree to which you were able to absorb Krishna and put him. People is put their work into God. Dear God, bless my food. Dear God, bless my child. But what they did, they put the God in the work, that everything has to start with him. We try that. We aim for that. I'm going to start construction. Dear God, come. I'm going to buy my car. I'm going to do my first moving in into Griha Pravesh, into the house. God, you come. When you come first, When you stand first, then I will follow. But we are emulating the example, let me say the status that these girls represented. That without effort, without fuss, me and you, if we had to get up early, is a trouble. If the water cold, is a trouble. If we have to reach by the baby with Baba for a time, trouble. If, oh God, they work hard, so much of things to do. But in their case, the work was made easy because Krishna was there. Because he is present and he's given me the energy to do it, I could do it. This morning, we continue along this line. We're in chapter 48, scan 10. One of the things that you learn from Christian worship, this morning me and Pandit Vivek were talking about why you worship Krishna. If somebody asks you, well, what you just eat? You just eat meat? You don't eat meat. Well, I just eat some, but because of religion, for example, I don't eat beef. Because of who I am, I don't drink alcohol. Because of who I am, I may not like to go out after a certain hour in the night. I have certain choices that represent who I am. I like rice, I don't like roti. The person, as they aging, starts to fill in the gaps of who they are. When somebody says self-realization, and I'm using simple examples for children who are watching, whether you like roti or you like rice. If you don't taste the roti and you don't taste the rice, for some instances, you wouldn't know which one you like. There are many people pray in a particular way, but they don't know why they pray, using prayers as the point. They pray because mother teach them that. That is all I know. But then, as a person is growing in your dharma, there is nothing wrong if you learn about other forms, learn and grow your knowledge, and then say, based on all my knowledge, I was attracted to my Ishdevta, or in this case, Krishna Bhagwan. One of the reasons why people are so attracted to Krishna is the holistic approach of his worship. His form does not have any tenets or limitation. For example, if I had to do Hanuman worship, the best day for Hanuman, Tuesday or Saturday. If I have to do, if you ever heard the katha of, there's a discourse where Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva had to have a son. I don't know if you ever heard this. Lord Shiva has a son named Shashta. Shashta is the one during the, I forgot the, Parimal, the temple where women are not allowed to enter. There's a form of Lord Shiva, he has a son. And, yeah? No, not Kartikeya. Another one. Mohini had to come to fight the demon. Vishnu takes the Mohini form. And from Shiva and Mohini comes Shashta. How? Ayappa. So that child, different to Kartik, Ayappa, during COVID time, it became quite popular that women wanted to access the temple of Ayappa. But when women go to that temple, you stand up outside and men are allowed to come inside. In the Kamakhya Devi temple, when mother's menstrual cycle is flowing at certain points, men stand up outside out of respect. Women are allowed inside. But now when you look at Krishna, and we'll hear more about it today, a married woman, a single woman, a boy, a man, an old person, a sickly person, a dead person, a soul, Jivatma, traveling and looking for help. He comes in the prayer and we're saying mantras on the water and he could get help. The person doesn't even have a physical form and Krishna is able to help him. But let us compare it to somebody like Saraswati Mata. Saraswati Mata is very apt to help me if I'm doing schoolwork. If I have marital problem and I don't know how to talk in my marriage, how to communicate, I want to be a public speaker or a politician, Saraswati worship. But if I'm praying for financial stability, Saraswati is not the form I'm going to. So in some worship, there's limitation. There's a form that could help and then it may not help me here. But Krishna is able to be accessed by everybody. You could do Gita Path or Christian Puja any day of the week, any tithi. We don't consider, oh, today is Sunday, I can't do Christian prayers. Today is the Trayodasi Tithi, I can't do Christian prayers. Any day make is Christian's day. Any time is Christian's time. And for that reason, because of his all-encompass, his ability to reach to everybody, all caste, all creed, all race. This is why you will find globally people are very attracted from different race and religion to this form. Today, to build this point that I'm saying, this katha shows how different people are attracted to him. And in this discourse, different category of people, age-wise, gender-wise, the purpose of the prayer is going to be highlighted. And this is the part where you're going to hear Krishna is going to change again. He's leaving the focus of Mathura. Kans is gone. And he's going to start to interact with the Pandavas in this discourse. Sometimes when people hear the nice story of Vrindavan and Kans, but how did he end up fighting in Hastinapur and all this bacchanal between his family and all this trouble? This is the discourse that shows the bridge. And in it, till today, when people have trouble with children, let's say a child is in danger. A good example, my child is a soldier at war or a police person on any type of dangerous assignment. And I want to protect this child. Till today, we chant the prayer of Kunti Devi, where she was praying to Krishna, please protect my boys. Never let my boys fall. Never let anything happen to them. Let's hear a little bit today in our discourse as we enter into this chapter 48. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Atatre Vikrayeyatam Sarvadashaharayeyati Priya Priyam Grihayeyato Yena Mukti Denayeyati
Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah.
Ahu Kandanyaritam Par Mathuraye Kujaye Karan Prihadvijatam Ashaye Ramana Ye Ramilu Prapanyayati
Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo
Namah. Vrindavan Bihari Lala Ki Jai. In this part, Kans was now destroyed and Krishna had made promises to people. We heard about the girl called Trivaktra whose body was twisted. For our understanding, let's call it scoliosis. Her spine was bent, and because of how she rubbed his body with the sandal, with the way, the mannerism in which she did it, for a stranger, the way she genuinely cared for his welfare, he went on to touch her back with his foot, and in that part, he transforms her body into a beautiful girl. Today, he wants to keep his promise. She prayed that one day may you come to my home and allow me to show you hospitality. In the heart of this girl, she prayed because of her experience being scarred for her whole life. She had grown accustomed with people scorning her. She's the ugly one. She's the nasty looking person. And that scar, that trauma, remained with her. Although now pretty, the person cannot see themselves like that. They don't identify like that. This person, inside their heart, inside their mind, is always going to be less than. Using myself as an example, when you have a size, you could lose all the weight in the world. You will always think you're big. And people watch you like that. People despise you. There are some people very insecure about if they have to go for breast surgery and they're going to lose the bosom. How will people look at me if I'm deficient? As a man, if a man inherits a bald head, or a woman worse, man could still adjust. Well, my father the bald, I will get bald and adjust. But the woman, should she have to go through losing that hair, that pride, that sensation, the person feels as if I am less than, to put it lightly. Sometimes when we have different circumstances, different things, the body gets stretch marked, the body goes through all types of changes. A man being diagnosed with erectile dysfunction, the way he feels in his heart, in his marriage. Words could encourage somebody, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. But, Parikshit, the person learns to live with this stain or stigma that you are less than. You are damaged goods, to put it in my words. Trivakra, now transformed by the touch of Krishna, is beautiful. One of the most attractive persons in Mathura now. And everybody is behind she. All the men are watching her, gawking, pursuing. But inside her heart, she feels this is not real. This is magic. This is somebody touched me and transformed me, but this is not who I am. And she still feels less than. She holds on to the hurtful memory of when people would scorn her, when people would look at her with dismay, men and worse yet, women. As a woman, women are sometimes the most harsh with their criticism. One example is the same mother-in-law, daughter-in-law relationship. When the mother-in-law forgets she was once a daughter-in-law herself and now becomes very abusive, very critical, full of criticism. Your roti too hard, your roti looking all how, for example. When the person is in this way, that daughter-in-law, in using my example, doesn't forget that trauma that lives with the person. And although people were pursuing her, sexual reasons, out of admiration, woman to woman, admiring her, she would still cover up her body as she had grown accustomed, hiding her face, hiding her hair, hiding her body. And people ask her, Trivakra, why are you hiding? You are so beautiful now, oh beloved girl. Look at how God has been gracious to you. And she would talk to Krishna in her heart that this is not how I feel about myself. That I am still in my heart less than. And the only person who was able to see the beauty in me was this Krishna. So the day came, what he did tell her in that discourse, is that let me focus on Kans. When I destroy Kans, I'll come back to your house. And I'll eat your food. I will spend time with you. In her heart, she prayed for a consort. This is unique to Christian worship. Christian worship is a form of worship where the person, like the gopi, you will hear they pray, I wish I could have a husband like Krishna. You would not hear that with Ram, for example. There's a discourse in Anand Ramayana. This Anand Ramayana is a Valmiki written text that deals with after Raja Ram came back home and what happens there. In that part, it tells you that how Agast Muni tells Ram, you just killed a Pandit. Ravan is from a Pandit's family. And you have to fast and purify yourself of this Brahmatya. So Sita and Ram now come king and they had to do jag and prayers and feed people, etc. In doing the duty of the prayers, while Sita is busy feeding all the Vanar and doing everything, a courtier girl from the court came too close to Ram, too close to comfort. And she's admiring the king. Truthfully, she fell in love with him. And Sita puts a shrap that Ram is only for me. Ram is not for everybody. So in Ram's worship, you will not hear. In nursing worship, you will not hear, I want a husband like Ram. I want a husband like nursing, for example. But in Christian worship, the gopis prayed, bless me to have a husband, bless me to have a consort till today. Just as how people pray, bless me to have a son like Krishna. Devaki Sutta Govinda Jagatpati, that whole stotra, 108 verses. Bless me to have a child like you. Bless me to have a child that will be energetic like you. Bless me to have a child that will be loud, mischievous. The words, the adjective change, but bless me to have a child. In the same way, there are prayers where a person is praying, let me have somebody that will wake up the passion inside of me as a woman, that would cause my love, the ability to give myself to somebody. Bless me to have somebody that has you in their heart, so that when you come and it is time for a husband to be a husband, bless me to meet a man that is okay being a son, but knows how to prioritize time, for example. One of the complex that Hindu Indian people have is they don't know how to manage their roles. In many marriages, you will hear, well, I have to eat from a mother roti and I have to eat from prayer roti, for example. Who to please Baba? But Hinduism practices the different ashram. So in the morning, when the boy getting married, just as how we hear about the part with the breast and the jarring of the breast when they're getting the baby and they're now getting the popo and they put the baby on the chest, etc. On the Sunday morning, the mother takes her bosom and she touches it to the boy's mouth, gesturing, the last time you will drink from my body. This is the end. You will always be my son, but from today, you are going to be a man as you enter into this Grihasti ashram, where your focus is your wife and your home. You don't forsake your parents, but you have to know how to do your duty. Part of your duty as a husband is to satisfy your wife's needs in terms of $5 for the bread, her body. The only person allowed to touch this lady in that way is the husband. And part of the Grihasti ashram is the copulation or the sexual interaction between two people. These two people are entering into agreement to have family life, to propagate children, and that becomes the focus. To make time, time for that is very important. But in Kali Yuga, it seems as if we had to pick on the boy is a little distracted with work, distracted with friends, distracted with sporting activity. Many marriages today undergo a lot of trouble because I can't get to have my recreation. I'm married. Oh God. In Western world, they call it the ball and chain kind of theory, that you're a burden. But if you have made the step to enter into this lifestyle, then you have to approach it with discipline. And this is what she was praying for. Bless me to be able to inherit somebody that has your persona, that if when it is time to be a husband, be a husband. When it is time for you to be a father, be a father. Too often, the fathers neglect to do their teaching. In our dharma, a father is the person who sets the standard for the boy or the girl. This is why everybody is taking daddy's name. Daddy is the one who is supposed to say how we pray, what we do, Ish Devta, the Gram Devta, or the land, the form that we worship in the village, or the different Kul Devta. Daddy is the one who sets that standard. And using this strong person as an example, this is the measuring stick how a son will become a man or a father, how a girl, if, for example, if the father is the one who exposes the girl to the idea of education, let's just say, to the nice things in life, the opportunities, the day some demon come in with chocolate and little niceties to bribe, the girl says, no, I know about that. My father taught me. My father showed me. I know. So I'm not going to be foolish and get, in my word, chain up. Get fool up and be taken advantage. In fact, the strength of a daughter is reflected in the father. For that reason, in different discourse, they says when the girl is married and she's crying, the only person who is affected by those tears is the father's soul. That part of his job is to make sure his girls are, settled and happy. And whilst life is up and down, overall, you learn, you grow. When you're now learning anything, when we now start the jog, oh God, everybody had to get up. But by Friday morning, everybody eye cracking, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, we getting up. And in that adjustment, if a father sets the highest standard for his children, rather than be a friend, then that child, girl child in particular, becomes very industrious. But if every time, well, don't worry, you go sleep, don't worry, you go clean, don't worry, you go do this, and daddy spoils the girl, the day she goes into the next family now, and she has to perform rigorous work, heavy responsibilities, a sickly child, the day the child, God forbid, born differently abled, or a husband ends up with a stroke or a pampers, my father never teach me to be responsible. My father never teach me to have compassion. My father never exposed me, let's say like a temple, take out food for people. Have you ever seen somebody, I had this experience, ma. Please go bring me a cup of tea. But my father never teach me how to hand somebody a cup. And the person hands the cup like this. Your father is the person who said, don't put your hand where the person's mouth have to go. Hold it properly. Give them it with grace. Show that respect. And a little example just for people who are watching to understand how little things, parents make big differences in their life. Let me say if we were studying with Hindi, chai P, chai PO, chai PGA, meaning when we talk to people, if I'm talking that child, drink the tea. I'm talking to my generation, will you drink tea this morning? If I'm talking to my elder, please drink the tea. The same thing I'm doing, but look at how my father teach me to talk. If my father brought me to temple and learn how to arrange myself and focus, working with the people, the elders, oh God, this tanti, she's trouble. But you have to tolerate. This one, she just forget, so you have to have patience. My father showed me, and that communal, when they say a village grows a child, that type of experience where the father is exposing you to this environment where many people are impacting on your character. The day you go to this next house and you take up this role, man, if that mother-in-law pulling on my patience, I could handle it. If she's troublesome, if she's a clean freak, if she's an OCD person, I could handle it. My father taught me how to clean a stove. He taught me how to clean a toilet, to be honest. This man did his job. Trevor is saying, I wish I had this. And in Christian worship, it is allowed for a person to pray that, dear Lord, may you bless me with a husband who is knowledgeable. You know how many people, they're married, but the husband, poor thing, he ain't no head to tail what going on. Sometimes a husband have to take on the role like a father. The girl potting, she ain't know what she want. Pregnant lady, monthly time, you're looking like you want chocolate. No, I good. I good. I doing my work. Hey, you go. Take a rest. And with an instructive way now, change the plan. Listen to me. You don't know where you want. You don't know where you need. She wouldn't tell me I need no tablet. Me I need nothing. But this person who has an instinct and understands their partner in this life, that the person need a little kindness, a little compassion, a little love today. That person who has that gift, dear God, bless me with that. For that reason, in the whole Kama Sutra, the main actor of Kama Sutra is not no stranger. The whole art of understanding the human body, using that book, people is talk about rudeness, but that book is a religious scripture where the temple becomes the body. And the man who this lady choose has to know how to appreciate her body. Because if you do not have that sexual compatibility, then it comes like I just waste this marriage. A waste is not the truth. I cannot give myself to somebody. I don't have that bond. Till today when people are checking compatibility in Jyotis, in Patra, Yoni Gun is the sexual compatibility. It will tell you how two people will hold that allure or passion for two people, for each other, sorry. It will tell you if it have cheating in the marriage, who will cheat, when they will cheat, how much children you could have. All of that information from the study of that, how these two people will work together based on just birth. Trivakra fed him, talked to him, and was able to tell him her heart's desire. That, dear Lord, I want somebody to love me and appreciate me. I want somebody to take away my insecurities and all the fear I have of considering myself healed or better than where I was before. After Krishna ate her food, he blessed her that she would get what she wanted. Vrindavan Bihari Lala ki jai. He stayed in that house for a couple of days, and from sleeping to getting up, she served him as a husband. In many times when you go to a Hare Krishna temple and they treat the murti like a living individual, they'll draw the curtain, wake up the Lord by ringing that bell over the lingam, and the lady would bring food. Till today, when people have a desire, my husband's sick, he blood pressure, he heart, he kidney, cancer, little or major problem, you will see people tying the string around the peepal tree. The peepal tree is where Krishna dies and he bled, and the tree pulled the blood. And they beg, oh Krishna, I am begging you, please spare my spouse. They protect my marriage, protect my home, bless the home, protect him, bless the house, to have peace, etc. In his worship, that type of prayer could be pronounced. But not in all. You don't go when you're doing Prithvi Puja and ask Mother, please bless the virility, bless the fertility of my husband, for example. But in Christian's worship, it has room for even that type of prayer. Whenever the person is choosing to have a daughter or a son, it is usually in reference to Lord Krishna and his worship. When she was done the last morning before she sent him off, she wanted to purify her home. And she put Krishna and she washed his foot and she took the water. If you ever see people when they wash their guru foot, and they will take the water and sprinkle it from the dust. In practical terms, we do it because the Baba using Gayatri. We do it on the Bedi with the Shaligram where Tulsi gave him the curse. When the yag is finished, sometimes people wash the Shaligram, let me say a bottle of water. They'll catch it, they take this home and they mop out their house. When you have puja, is another way of doing the same thing. Purifying, blessing, sanctifying your home. That is what this girl did. And after he had finished blessing her and all that was done, he now leaves that house and he wants to go to the other house. The other home that he had to visit based on his promise was the home of Akrura. Akrura was waiting. This is his uncle, the guy who brings him from Vrindavan to Mathura. Akrura wanted to do the same hospitality. Feed him, please come home. And the promise was made, after Kans, I will come. Let's hear what happens in this slok. Sita Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram.
Sita Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram.
Akrura Krishna Maha Ramatam Prabhu Kinchit Padashana Pratyate Satana Navarata Chetanarayan Vishwapatyati Chiranyayati Sita Ram
Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram.
Krishna Bhaga Papiye Vishwayatam Buddhi Jivan Mukta Sedurang Dadatam Sita
Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram,
Sita Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Go into Akrura house. Balram, Krishna, Uddhav, all of them went. And he allowed this uncle rose quick when he heard him coming. As Balram started a call from the entrance of the gate, "Uncle, uncle, are you home?" All formalities, he met them. And he took and he washed their feet, doing the same thing. Sprinkling the water through the house, he gave it to the wife and asked her, whilst I'm talking with them here, let's say in the gallery or the foyer area, go and sprinkle it, pass it through the house, giving them different types of perfume, flowers. Akrura says, you have come here in all your capacity. Together with your brother, you are both the Pradhan Devta, you are the main Devta, you are the Purusha, you are the energy of male Prakriti, you are the male, the female, the creative force, you are the knowledge of how to take the energy and make something. You are standing in my house like many murtis, and for that reason I worship you. Akrura is a different type of devotee. This person knows all the high science. When you talk about Purusha and Prakriti, how the atoms merge and creation goes from a gas to liquid to solid, till today when we are doing science and you hear somebody talk about covalent bonding and ionic bonding of how the atoms come together. These are the type of deep science that Akrura was accustomed to. And even then, Krishna listens to his prayer. When we are praying in Hinduism, we pray to the God that created the different type of species. Those types of life that are born from egg. Those things that are born without male and female, but asexual reproduction, where, let's say, like from one cell, it breaks off into a second cell, but no copulation. Then you have the 2 feet, the chatuspad or the 4 feet animals, the different type of 4 feet, where we would say for things like reptilian, the thing that could control the temperature, like us, mammal, and then it have the things that cannot control temperature. Meaning, if you take a snake and you place it in let's say a fridge, a refrigerator, the snake cannot move. Its body slows down so much, it is as if it dies. And without the external temperature, the snake cannot move. So you will find in cold places, let's say Alaska, Antarctica, snake does not live there. But in warm, temperate parts, snakes, that type of life will flourish. The mammal, or you and I, have the ability to generate when a person is trembling. The muscle is making the energy to light a fire inside. This is one of the ways he says, I see Devi, I see the goddess inside the person. Like an inner light, like a dear light, lighting and keeping that luster alive. And in our science, that energy, that Durga, that name we put, we do have it. Humans don't hibernate like how bears shut down and slow down when the place is getting cold. His prayer has to do, you are the main devta, Pradhan devta in the puja. Our main devta is Krishna. This is a Krishna jag. He says, you are the main devta of all these different species and types of the variation of life that was created. Your ability to create the web of veins in a person's body, the web of nerves in a person's body, the ability for a person to remember and for a person to forget. Think about one of the reasons why we pray to Saraswati, for example, is to remember the schoolwork. That's a good example. Understand the work, make it simple, you'll memorize it. But another reason we pray to Saraswati is to forget. If me and you had to remember every insultive thing, every hurtful moment, the pain of losing somebody, death, the pain of any struggle, any fight, any cut on your body, we would become very bitter. But the person on the day of the funeral, they cry and they bawl. But as the bandara, as the 13-day, 12-day period is happening, the person still lost the individual, but somehow the different stages of grief is evolving. The person is starting to take hold. Solace, healing is possible. The memory, we will always remember somebody we love and they die, but the person is not broken. So the person asks Saraswati, please help me to overcome this memory and really forget it. Think about the importance of that for somebody who was raped, or the person who goes through a hard marriage and they're divorcing now, and time comes for them to trust another person. How are you going to do that if you're still hankering over the past? For that reason, he says, your ability to manipulate me, you created me. You're the main energy power in my heart, for example, and still you are growing me, you are nourishing me and giving me the ability to forget, the ability to remember, for example, the ability to understand. A person who has a stroke and they cannot talk, and sometimes you're watching the eye, you want water, without words, the ability to understand what the spouse wants, what a child that cannot talk, intuition. A mother knows her child is lying, and without that child saying a word, what is troubling you? Something is wrong. Husband, what went on today? What type of day you had? Something tell me to ask you that question. Akrura says that intuition is another murti of you. And today I get to feed you, O Lord of intuition, Lord, that is working inside of me, and I still don't see it. But when a person does not know the language to talk, let's say a teenager, to give them the initiative, to encourage them to do better or to do their work or to take a more healthy relationship, take some advice, and you know what it is like to feel helpless. Or your words, I have good intention, but I am becoming the enemy. Instead of the child listening to me, the child is hating me. He says, today I wash your foot and I feed you and I beg you, please do not abandon me. In that example, when I need to understand and get the insight how to make peace in my job, how to make peace with my neighbor, how to approach this situation, that I must be able to resolve it and overcome possible confrontation or some type of fight. If you leave me for a moment, I would not be able to function. This is why I'm washing your foot today. When we are doing Sunday morning, the Mahatyam for the Bhagwat Gita, he says, this is my body. Gita, Ganga, Chagai, Tri, Sita, Satya, Saraswati, Brahma, Vidya, Brahma, Valdi, Tri, Sandhya, Mukta, Gehini, Artamata, Chirananda, Bhavagni, Bhainashni, Veeratre, Parananta, Tatvarata, Jnana, Manjari. The 18 name, the 18th chapter is my body. The first one is my head, the next two is my shoulder, my arms, and you build the body at this. Wherever my body is, when people put it in the house, when people put it in the job, in the desk, maybe I can't put a murti like this in my office, but I work with people who are against me because of race or tensions over gender, etc. Where you are, bad has to go. Where you are, if this is the one that I could put in a different religious circle and people would not gawk, it's just a book. But I understand my book has that divinity to shun away that type of energy. Transform this house and make it into a home where you are, goodness and the grace of Lakshmi will come. He says, today I get to wash your foot and you come in my house like the Gita, like this Murti. In his case, he gets the real living Krishna. Today my home is complete. Today my home is clean. He says, Prabhu, after he feed him and dress him, put kanhavar on him, this thing you bought, I don't know if you know the symbolism of this. This has a reason, a rationale behind it. You see that pretty one Baba is wearing that Harinam cloth? This kanhavar, when you're learning Panditai, when you're learning prayer, you're junior, and you're learning and you're coming up. With experience and knowledge comes a day the Guru gives you this. And the person puts the kanhavar out of respect and regard. When you get this, you are now fit to become Vyas. You are now ready. You are not just reading the book. When you're down here and you're learning the mantras and you're practicing the Chalisa and you're stumbling, the person is reciting. Just how it is. You can't interpret too much yet. You're young. But when the person come here, the word that you heard Baba keep saying Vyas, Vyas. Vyas means editor. That it is written here in one way, but the person with the experience, maybe knowledge, could now put it in a way a 5-year-old could get it, a 50-year-old could understand it and appreciate something from it. That person is a Vyas. And the sign of a Vyas is this, that the person is wearing this. So when, if you watch on your ZTV or something, when they put the person on the asana, just as how we do the worship, this is one way, and you did it and you didn't know what you was doing. But this is the sign of respect. So if you see in a program, East Indian people bring a, not only pundit, but let's say a pundit of music, a guru, a teacher, one of the things they do before you put the flowers mala is nice, but that flowers mala is for everybody. That flowers mala means I garland the God in you. I bow to the God and I worship the God in you. So that is not unique only to the pundit, but this is. This says I look at you as a teacher and you came in my house and you bring this value. So when, like Miss who would teach in her subject, great guru, likewise, he teaching me how to play drum or gharana of singing, etc. Then you showed that this respect. But I could take up a flowers mala and put it on your neck, you're a mother. You could take one and put it for me. And in this way, the flowers mean one thing, but this represents that respect. It is the mark of a person who has attained a certain height of knowledge. When he finished dressing and he put the kanhavar on him, he felt as if his Lord was now complete. He says, Guruji, Panditji, Lord Krishna, give me some seva to do. Give me a job. And if I get to do a job for you, if I do something for you, I would be so happy. Lord Krishna says, you are like a grandfather to us. You are elder. What could I give you to do? What are you putting me in? You're asking me to give you a job? He says, regardless the age, you worship and respect the person's knowledge or the inner activated energy within the person. For this reason, a guru could be somebody younger, but you respect the post. Let's say somebody becomes a lecturer, or like him, knowledgeable of the instrument. Because he's young, you will hear people who are misguided. I care about a young fella foot. But the truth is, it's not only the age you're bowing to. The person could be very old and never have a good way or any knowledge. So what you're doing then, if you follow that, you're bowing to gray hair, the signs of age, but the content is very little. But when you see, like Vaman, in our text, Sanak Sanandan, 5-year-old children, and they have the content, regardless of your field, you worship the person. So if a doctor, a medical doctor came in here that saves lives and does that, say what, to do surgery, let's say for free, pro bono work, that person, you could worship that person and touch their foot. That because of the life they live, the Sevak life they live, that person is worthy of devotion. He says, for this reason, do not rob me of this opportunity. You are trying to play semantics by talking about old and young. You know Dharma. Dharma says, if I worship you, give me something to do so that I could sweat and burn the karma so that I would get optimum blessing. He says, okay, go to the city of Hastinapur. I have heard that my family over there is in trouble. Pandu has died, and sitting on the throne of that city is a blind king Dhritarashtra. He is the son of Ambika, and because of the history of that, he is born blind, and he is not supposed to be on the throne, but he is being very one-sided against my relatives. Go and see what is happening. See if you could talk to them. Look in on my relations and come back and tell me what is happening. Prem se bolo Vrindavan Bihari Lala ki jai. Dhritarashtra, in the first part of Bhagwat Gita, is the blind king. These are brothers, long story short. In the Mahabharata, where the whole story starts, you had the creation of these brothers Pandu and Dhritarashtra. Pandu is born when he was being made. His mother felt upset when she saw how ugly looking the father, in that case Vyas, was. And because she kind of, like scorn, to use a word, Pandu is born with what we would call jaundice, weakened body. The liver is not working too well. Dhritarashtra, the girl, when it was time to make him to conceive that one, she closed her eye like this and she refused to open her eye. Child is born blind. Dhritarashtra was not the person favored to go on the throne because of this ailment. He's born as differently able, less than, but if he goes and he becomes the politician, it is believed that the neighboring cities will look at him as a weaker leader and they would want to invade. Pandu is given the throne, but when Pandu went on the throne, as fate would have it, Pandu dies, long story short, leaving the two Madri and Kunti. When the body of Pandu is going to burn, Madri goes on the pyre to go with husband. So Kunti now remains with the 5 boys we know as the Pandavas. She is the one parent, a single parent, to fend for them. The trouble is, she is like a daughter-in-law living with Gandhari and her husband, the brother-in-law, the blind king. And their children are taking advantage of her children. She is very uncomfortable because her son, her husband was the king. Her son is supposed to be the king. The blind man has no right. He's been passed off. He was put aside because of God not giving him the eyesight. He is not supposed to sit on the throne. But now they have taken the throne. And, as they are growing, according to Mahabharata, they would do mean things. When he goes to hear what is happening, Duryodhana, the first cousin, the blind king's big boy, puts poison for Kunti's son, for example. So what Akrura is going to hear is somebody reports that this is my family and look what is happening. This daughter-in-law is trapped in the house. I can't go nowhere. I have no option. As a woman, I have no way of fending for myself. But instead of my in-laws treating my husband wishes, that obviously he's dead, but his children are entitled to certain things, they're trying to take advantage. They're taking advantage of me. And it so happened now it was time for this part of the discourse to come in, where Krishna is becoming involved with the Pandavas and the Kauravas and everything. Akrura is the first step in that bridging of the story, where Krishna is going to go from Mathura, Kansa is long done, Ugrasen is on the throne, and he's getting ready to come to this place called Hastinapur, where all the battle, where we know all the war, where Dwarka is coming up. It begins with the uncle, Akrura, that there are people in this life that will work for Krishna. There are some people put their hand together and pray to him and ask him for grace. And there are some people will say, I'm a plumber, I'm an electrician, I am a cook, I am going to do his work. When you heard last night the people talking about Seva, the logic of Seva is that you, Krishna, gave me the ability to be the painter, to be the cleaner, to do something. I am going to do, to make you, Krishna, proud. I am going to do pro bono work. I'm going to be a plumber for auntie. She has trouble, but I don't want payment. Krishna, I hope you are happy with me because you gave me this gift and I want to give it back in service. Akrura is the person who goes to speak on behalf of Krishna and to investigate what's going on over there. When Akrura went, he meets the politicians, Vidur, Shaukani, other named characters that we will touch on. All of them in the throne room of Hastinapur. And they do great pomp and reception to receive. But there's a person that Akrura wants to talk to one side. Let's hear what happens when he gets to sit with his relative Kunti. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita Namastasye 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 Mo Namah
Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Sansrita Namastasye
Namastasye Namo Namah Shakti Rupena Pritatu Bratam Ye Praptya Kaurava Pandava Tamayati Uvachaye Janam Nilaye Smaratam Shruyanti Kulaye Yati Yadi Vi Sarva Bhuteshu
Shakti Rupena Sanskrita
Namastasye Namastasye
Namastasye
Mo Namah Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu
Shakti Rupena Samstita
Pratrino Bhagavan Krishna Sharana Bhakta Vatsalayetam Paiti Sanda Surasenatam Rishvana Ruranayati Namastasye Namastasye Sarvabhuteshu Rupena Samstita. In understanding your Christian Gathai in the run-up to the Bhagwat Gita Sunday, for the first time, be very clear on the relation between Lord Krishna and Arjun. Sometimes you will hear people say they were friends. That is not true. Kunti now, sitting with Akrura, he calls her by her home name, Pritha. He calls her by the name he grew up knowing her. He says, "Oh dear girl, oh Pritha, how are you faring? Your husband has died, we heard, and for that reason I came, and I'm so happy to sit with you." Tears welled up in her eyes, and she related, she gushed as if she's talking to her own blood, her own family now. She could let them know all that she had gone through to see Pandu die. To have one friend, Madri, the sister, the sister wife. She has 3 sons, Yudhishthir, Bhim, Arjun, and Madri had 2 sons via Pandu, Sahadev and Nakul. Madri abandoned me, leaving me these 5 sons to care for, leaving me in a home full of serpents and poison. When my sons went to the Gurukul with Dronacharya and Duryodhana and Dushashan, constantly they would pick on them, bully them, try to get them to fight, always competing with them. And I grew with them with fear. The motivator of my prayer has become fear that one day I will hear from 5, I have 4. One day they will be successful in killing my son or sons. She recites the part where they say, "Bhim, you like to eat. Brother Bhim, eat." But in the food they put poison, trying to kill him. Every time they try to slander, they mock Arjun's ability, the handsomeness of Nakul and Sahadev, the good looks of these 2 brothers, most handsome of the 5. It becomes a stain upon them. I worry that out of jealousy, as they are becoming young men, what will happen when, if their looks, if their ability, if their strength, if their knowledge, in the case of Yudhishthir, who is very balanced and is filled of equilibrium. If everything that is strong in my children and good in my children, oh brother Akrura, it becomes a burden, it becomes a reason for enmity. I do not know what to do. And as the tears are running down her face, she holds up herself and she says, "Further, tell me how my parents are. How is my brothers? The eldest brother I have is Vasudeva, the father of Krishna, Devaki and Vasudeva. Vasudeva's big sister is Kunti. How are my sisters? Shrutu Devi. Shrutu Devi is one of their sisters. How is my nephew Krishna? How is my other nephew Balram? How are the ladies of that house, my sister-in-law Devaki and all others, meaning Rohini and other girls that got married to the brother?" And like that, Akrura had to recite and tell her about, just like when family meet, this one good, that one ain't good, this one sick, and so. And they're talking. She says, "I feel as if I am the female deer," to use the same analogy, that she, helpless, when she's hearing the calling of the male, the hunter is so smart. When the male is calling the female to copulate, as the season is drawing near, the female is helpless. Instinctively, she runs where that sound is, not knowing that is her death calling, that this fake male is the hunter now with weapons waiting to cut her. She says, I have become like that female deer in my husband's palace. This city is built and structured, functioning because of his good rule. But instead of being treated with respect or in any way love, adoration, etc., we are treated like outside or less than in our own home by the people that should respect and have consideration for us. We are shunned and scorned. I wish my Krishna could come and save me. I wish my Krishna could stand with me and my boys. Krishna, Krishna Mahayogin, that he is the the one that everybody seeks. If the yogi is the person who is seeking, looking for God in the nook and the crannies, he is the one, the answer to all the yogis' prayer. If I have learned anything in this life, when life is beating you, the only person who could help you is this Mahayogin, this one called Krishna. He is the one I have my faith in, that he will protect me and protect the things that I hold dear, my children. We are living out of fear. And yes, in this sansar, you die and you come, you die and you go. But I bow to him, I beg him for his protection, because I do not want to see Pandu's children be treated unfair. They deserve fairness. Oh brother, oh Akrura, tell him, go back and tell him that I want him to come here and stand and protect them. Prem se bolo Vrindavan Bihari Lala ki jai. This discourse is the reason why Krishna gets very close to the Pandavas. When simple as Balaram did not understand why Krishna is only siding, as it were, with the Pandavas, Balaram says, we have no heart in this ring. We are not involved in this family conflict. This is between one father and his children and a next father and his children. They're fighting for one palace. This is not we palace. This is not we throne. This is not we fight. Why are you in the fight? But it was because of this and a subsequent prayer that Kunti utters when they're getting ready to go on the chariot, when he's getting ready to drive away with the chariot with Arjun. Before Arjun come on the chariot, Kunti come and she tell him, you is the only one. And this was the difference between Kunti and Gandhari. Gandhari never asked Krishna, look in on my sons. But Kunti came and she begged as a mother, even as an aunt, as a poor, the father's elder sister, please protect them at all costs. Do not let them fall. Do not let them destroy themselves. Do not let them be destroyed by others. And because of the purity of her prayer, different type of discourse here, different type of devotee, meaning to say, when the tears of Kunti are genuine, everything that she asks, everything that Draupadi would ask in time to come, Krishna is the one who will grant it. He gives them all whatever they ask for. For that reason, he is looked at as the one who is the resolver of all situations. He is the one who comes to answer the call of all devotees. He is truly Purushottam. He is truly Antaryami. He is inside of everybody, knowing the desires of each and every devotee. He is the one who gives you what you need. And Kunti said all of this to Akrura. Akrura, crying to see his sister in this helpless, hopeless state, gets ready to leave now, to go back to Krishna, to tell him that your aunt is calling on you, and secretly she is suffering. She's under duress and she needs your help. Akrura doesn't want to study anybody, no politician, no formality, no dinner, no dance, none of these things. He has a message to deliver urgently to Krishna. and he wants to leave. But as he's getting ready to leave, the blind king sends a message, how will you leave my court and you will not even look for me? I am the king. Come and look for me one moment before you leave. You only spoke to Kunti, and now it seems as if some fire has been lit inside of you. You want to run back to your city. Oh, brother, come and look for me. When Akrura comes, even in that moment, Akrura says, O king, O head of the Kuru race, it is not late for you to do the right thing. You have absconded the throne of Pandu. You are occupying a seat that is not ordained by God for you. If God wanted you to be on that throne to hold government, he would have given you the eyesight. You would have been complete. You would have been perfect. But God made you in such a way that you are not fit to rule. You are not described as a competent person in your persona. You are very subjective. You are not objective. You cannot pass judgment. You find favor with who you like, and you find disapproval with the ones you do not like. You are a very bad judge of character. When it comes to taking advice, you do not listen to your own advisors in your court. When it comes as a parent, as a father, you are utter failure. Your sons, when your wife did pray and she was told that she would be able to bear 100 sons, having children is a wonderful thing. But being a poor parent, being a parent that does not instill dharma or dharmic principles in those children, you are simply propagating the monsters and the demons that bring pain and suffering to other people's life. You are the root cause of the downfall of these 100 sons that Gandhari had served Vyas, and he's blessed that you will have your 100 sons, as if it was a blessing. But then she marries a fool like you, and from a blessing it became a scourge. It became a stain. And the 100 sons, as the discourse went on, she lives to see the 100 sons 100 times. She had to see the dead body and the blood, the ripped flesh, the bone protruding through the legs of all of them, like Duryodhana, and it broke her heart. What was the sense of getting 100 children to see this end reach for them? Duryodhana had become a grandfather in his own right and was still foolish, arrogant, full of ignorance, and for that reason is destroyed on the body of Bhima. The only child they are left with is the daughter. The blind king had 100 sons and one girl child. You are the downfall of these children. A foolish person unrighteously nourishes false tenets and poor principles in the heart and mind of their children. When a person is inheriting children from the grasp of God, when he gives you these souls to nourish, what type of mind do you have to give them bad nutrition, starve them, and not only physical food, but give them poor training, poor examples, poor exposure? You, oh my friend, you are a walking body of sin. And because of your nature, whoever you interact with, you are only able to spread darkness. Please change your direction, do a course correction. It is still time. If not for you, think about your sons, think about your grandchildren, think about your city as a politician. It cannot only be about you, it has to be about the people that depend on you. Be selfless for once in your life. Listening to all this, he says, oh my dear Dhanpati, great charitable person, in a kind of, where's the word? In a kind of insultive way, sarcastic way. Great charity, you are giving your words, so much of dhan, so much of good advice. Who are you to advise me? My duty is to propagate my name. My duty is to propagate my sons and to push them forward at all means, regardless to the method. They must conquer this world. Akrura says, your sons will conquer, but the unconquerable will conquer them. That there will be a day when they will meet their match. For the monsters that you are making, the Lord of light will come. And for all your pride, with all your status, all of it will be for nothing. You will live to see them fall. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Parikshit, this is how Krishna is urged now. Akrura went back and related the whole thing. And Krishna tells Balram, I want to go and look for my aunt, Kunti Devi. Till today, people recite these passages to gain the insight, depending where I am in my life, my age, my circumstance, my trouble. There has to be a way for me to talk to him. And he, the Pradhan Devta, the primordial Devta of everything, will accept my prayer. If only I knew how to pray, how to approach him. He is able, as he had shown in these discourses, and he wants to come, that he could remedy any trouble. He is capable if we only have faith in him. For this reason, he tells his brother, let us make all preparations. We are going to Hastinapur. Blessed is the person that in this life, whether you are like Trivaktra, whether you are like Akrura, whether you are like Kunti, you must not become Dhritarashtra. You must not become that blinded person, spiritually blind, physical blind, blinded by money, blinded by property, blinded by sex or lust. Do not become the blind person. Do not become so foolish that all the gifts that God give you, you are squandering it and you have no value for goodness and good things. That the person who listens to this discourse, they are shielded from becoming blinded as Dhritarashtra. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. O Radha. I feel to sing a little bit as I get back my voice. Me again to sing. O Radha, Radha Krishna Radha, Radha, Radha Krishna Radha, O Radha, Radha Krishna Radha, Radha,
Radha Krishna Radha,
O Radha, Radha Krishna Radha,
O Radha, Radha Krishna Radha,
Radha Krishna Radha,
Radha Krishna Radha,
Radha Krishna Radha,
Radha Krishna Radha,
O Radha, Radha Krishna Radha,
O Radha, Radha Krishna Radha,
Radha, Radha, Radha,
Radha, Radha, Radha,
Radha, Radha, Radha,
Radha, Radha, Radha,
Radha, Radha Krishna Radha,
Radha, Radha Krishna Radha,
Radha, Radha Krishna Radha,
O Radha, Radha Krishna Radha,
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
O Radha, Radha Krishna Radha,
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 Radha Krishna Radha,
Radha
Radha Krishna Radha,
Radha Krishna Radha,
Radha Krishna Radha,
Radha Krishna Radha, Radha Radha Krishna Radha, Radha Radha Krishna Radha,
Radha Radha Radha,
Radha Radha
Radha
Radha,
Radha Radha,
Radha Radha
Radha
Radha,
Radha Radha,
Radha Radha Radha,
Radha Radha Krishna Radha,
Radha Radha Krishna Radha,
oh Radha Radha Krishna Radha,
Radha Radha Krishna Radha,
Krishna Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Radha Radha Krishna Radha,
Radha Radha Krishna Radha,
Radha Radha Krishna Radha,
Radha Radha Krishna Radha,
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 Radha
Radha Krishna Radha,
Radha Krishna Radha,
Radha Radha Krishna Radha,
Radha Radha Krishna Radha,
Radha Radha
Radha
Krishna Radha,
Krishna, oh Radha Radha Krishna Radha, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Radha Radha Krishna Radha. When the person starts to understand him, when the person starts to grow in their Krishna consciousness, where they remain aware, where they remain alert, fancy word, Krishna consciousness, where they realize where he is, what he is, and how he works, his funny ways, how to please him, how I as a woman, I as a man, I as a wife, I as a cook, I as a cleaner, how I will please him. Then imagine you start to sing, you start to work, you start to puja him. Then you could do it with that ferocity, with that vibration that I want to do it. I want to make the sacrifice. I want to make the time. Then you're working, then you're doing, then you really become a bhakt or a devotee of Kanha. Vrindavan Bihari Ki Jai. Pandit Sanjay wants me to stick to my time, and the Pandit is very bad. I apologize, everybody. Let's all stand. I get carried away. I like my job. Let's all stand as we do a little arati to conclude this section. Eh? Let's all stand. I believe Baba had to do Purnahuti in the fire,
Yes.
and then we'll do arati. Let me hand over to Baba. Everybody put all their hands together this morning as we pray.
Om Puranamida Puranamidam Puranat Purumudakshate Puranasya Puramadaya Purnamivavashishtate Om Sarvam Vai Purnagvam Swaha. Everyone stand for final arati. Om Sajam Chavarti Samyuktam Vahina Yojitam Maya Deepam Grahani Devesha Trailokyatmirapaham. Jai Janani Jai Bhagwatam Jai Janani Jai Bhagwatam
Jai Janani Jai Bhagwatam
Jai Jai Bhagavat
भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती
ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मुक्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेर निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला
ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मुक्ति पंच के पंचम जीने वाला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला
हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही
हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही
जग के मंगल की
आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती
ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत श्रापों को मिटाने वाला
हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला ये पंक्ति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला
है सुख
करनी है दुख हरनी है सुख करनी है दुख करनी
ये मधुसूदन की आरती
पापियों को पाप से है तारती जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती
ये मधुर बोल जग पंद को संग मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला
ये मधुर बोल जग पंथ खोल
संग मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बजाने वाला
श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही प्रभु की महिमा की आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती पापियों को पाप से है तारती पापियों को पाप से है तारती
Let's pray together, everybody. Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya
Dravinam Tvameva
Tvameva Sarvam
Mama Deva Deva
Tvameva Sarvam
Mama Deva Deva
Om Shanti 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 Hari Om प्रेम से बोलो महापति महादेव की जय पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय श्री आदि शक्ति माता की जय वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय Jai Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, everybody. Please have your seat. Arti, Charan Amrit Prasad, meals for everybody. As we bring a pause on the live for this session, we'll be starting back shortly as we join together in another discourse from Bhagwat. Sitaram, everybody.